right, guys, joining me at this time is another man who's going to be stepping in the cage this Saturday for the UFC, the Colombian warrior himself, Mr. Danny Chavez. How you doing today, Danny?
Hey man, everything great, bro. Tomorrow, I just gotta cut weight and I get to eat. And you know what I mean? Like everything is great, man. Thank you for having me here.
No, of course. Super exciting matchup this weekend with Jared Gordon, man. How did that whole matchup come along, and where were you when you said yes to it?
You know what? I was at the crib. My manager hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I think we have your next matchup." And I'm like, "All right, what is it? Who is it?" He's like, "His name is Jared Gordon. I think you heard of him, because his father, he's had a fight, so he's
Mhm.
already known." But thing is, like, I'll be honest, like, I was a huge fan early in my career. I knew every goddamn name and last
Yeah.
name and what day and everything. I knew where they were from. As I got more into the sport, I only know like the bigger names, the
Hmm.
bigger fights. You know what I mean? Unless you stand out. So I was like, I heard that name, but I really can't remember. So I looked. He's like, I think it's a good fight for you. Like, look at it. I looked at it, and I'm like, anyways, like, I'm here to fight anybody. I don't
Yeah.
really care. So I'm like, book me in. He's like, it's for February 20th. And we're talking about November 20th when I got the call. So I'm like,
So
oh,
you got
even
plenty of
perfect. I'm
time.
like, oh, I'm like 3 months.
Get
I'm
through
like,
the holidays.
I just know, not only that, I just got off COVID. I
Oh.
literally, I caught COVID about 8th of October. So hitting
Yeah.
November, because I had it for 24 days.
Mhm.
So I had it for like 3 weeks and a few more days. So I just got off of COVID and I was still like recovering from it because I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have no fever, nothing, but I lost my sense of taste and smell. And my cardio got affected.
Mhm.
It's hard for me to come back like the first 2 to 3 weeks like of the gym. Oh, it was horrible. You know what I mean? Like I'll roll my students and I'll gas. But
Something not
one
the norm for you.
yeah. But then my body got back to normal and I'm ready. And yeah, I was very afraid because I always fight around big days, like big
Mhm.
holidays. I don't get to enjoy them. So I finally wasn't gonna fight
Well, it
around
worked out.
Thanksgiving. And I'm like, bro, it's time for me to munch. And now I can't taste and smell the food. I'm like, yo, God is playing with me right now, you know?
Right?
But I got my literally a week before Thanksgiving, I started tasting and smelling it back. So I was able to enjoy Thanksgiving. I was able to enjoy Christmas. I was able to enjoy New Year's. It was good. It was good.
When were you fully 100%, cardio back to normal? When was everything like firing at all cylinders, would you say?
I'll say mids of December. Almost
You had
like,
plenty of time to prepare.
yeah, I think like it took me like a month. I'll be honest. A month after I tested negative and I was able to go back to the gym. It took
Hmm.
me like 4 weeks and to feel normal, but to really feel like 100%. And when I mean normal, I mean like I was getting closer and closer. Like
Yeah.
when I say 100, the ends of December, beginnings of January is when I was already like, okay, I'm myself already. I'm back to myself, which is still enough time. It's still a lot of time for me to peak and get ready for this fight.
Since then, have you had any days where you kind of feel the symptoms coming back at all, or is it kind of just been business as usual since it's, been back?
No, it's been business as usual. That's it. No, I haven't felt anything. You
Because you
know,
heard about like Kazmat Shamaev, he had the same situation where he had COVID and then he's had problems ever since that, just, trying to get back to 100%.
mm, well, I thank God I'm blessed. Knock on wood. I'm, I haven't gone through that. I hope I don't.
Hmm. Now, this matchup, man, Jared Gordon, how excited are you about it? Obviously, it's a very good stylistic matchup, especially for the fans.
Jerry Gordon is a very tough guy, but everybody in the UFC is tough. Let's just be
Yes.
honest. Nobody here is soft. You know what I mean? So it comes down to skills and brains. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I'm better than him. I'm more skilled than him, and I'm just a smarter fighter. I think if you look at my losses, people would think that plays to Gordon's side.
Hmm.
I lost 3 fights, and they two of them were guys that wrestled me. You know
Jason
what I mean?
Suarez is not a slouch, so
Yeah, so, but you're talking about 2015, 2020, and
yeah,
2011. We're talking about 2021 now. I'll be
you're a
evolved.
completely different fighter.
completely different fighter. And I got wrestled by these guys, but I took them down too.
Hmm.
I remember two of these guys were I lost to them in championship fights. I lost to them in
Yeah,
the fifth. I lost to them going 2-2, going into the fifth round, and I lost that fifth round. And it is what it is, you know. I lost, but I was a wrestler too. I was a wrestler my first 7, 8 fights of my career. I changed up my style because I always had great striking growing up in sport. My coaches always talked about my power and my speed and all that stuff.
natural.
Well, yes, but then they how can I say it? I think in practice, what happened is that I used to look up a lot to George St. Pierre,
Hmm.
and I used to really like his style and his approach to the game. So in practice, I would do that a lot. And I think my coaches probably thought, you know, this is the most successful we could make Danny. Let's make him a strike. He could strike with people good enough to hide those takedowns, just like
Hmm.
Joseph Pierre did. And I was doing it, but I was getting tired sometimes because I was being too, not tired, it's just like I wasn't putting them away. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I'll let them, and I was doing like Joseph Pierre, going a decision. You know what I mean? It was happening to me. So when we changed things up now, it became like I became the striker, not the defensive takedowns. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
get
for
the
sure.
takedown. I get the takedown when I want to. Like, you know what I mean? And my coaches, and I tell my coaches while we're in between rounds, I'll be like, remember to take him down now? And they'll be like, no, you're doing great right now. Why are you gonna go take him down? Why are you gonna no. Don't waste energy right now like that. We take him down when we need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now you're lighting him up, keep lighting him up. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing about me and my corner. Me and my corner, we talk from round between rounds, and we communicate. And I gotta believe in them. They're watching it from the outside. They
yeah,
believe in me making the adjustments while I'm in there. So um, that's what it was. I changed my style. I started believing more in my striking, and I was like, you know, I did amateur kickboxing. I did 3 amateur kickboxing, and I won one by TKO. That's when I got my nickname, not my nickname. That's when I got these tattoos because I
KO.
broke the guy's nose. You know, look, in practice nobody punches each other. You don't punch yourself in the face, but
Yeah,
your team will tell you how hard you hit, and
hell
they used to
yeah.
tell then you got heavy hands. So I was like, for real? I'm like, you know what? I'll put KO. And I won my second amateur kickboxing. I was in Tampa by breaking the guy's nose and making him quit the second round. He didn't come on the third. So I was like, oh, that's it. And bro, from there on, it was been decisions. I feel like I cursed myself. It was weird. And my friends used to bother me, call me decisionator and stuff, man. It was crazy. And then
The
no,
decisionator, man, that sucks.
it was it was messing with me. And you know, then all of a sudden, you know, I made a lot of changes in my life personally and in the game. And now I'm knocking people out, and that's what it
Right.
matters.
Obviously, a lot of people, especially fighters, they learn so much from their losses just as well as they do from their victories. And it seemed like obviously you losing two in a row, coming back on to now what, a 4 fight win streak, one in the UFC. It really seems like you've evolved yourself from the fighter you once were.
Well, I'll be honest, like the technique, you know, I still add technique. What I get better at is at timing, is at like understanding situations. You know, yes, but you know, it gets to a point that how much technique, you know, at one point, how much technique can you absorb? It's like you already know what techniques you're really good at. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I have some few ones, but I just fix details. Like now my guillotine is a little tighter. Now my chokes, my movement on the ground is better. You know, like just details. You know, the biggest change I made it was mentally. It was personally. I had a lot of things going on, man. Maturity. I was not as mature as I am now. I was when I come from Miami, and Miami's a very distracting city, and it's full of a lot of crap.
Very.
You know, exactly. And I grew up there. It's not like you throw me. It's not like one of those fighters that just moved to Miami. You're not gonna get as distracted because you don't know anybody. I went
Yeah.
to high school there. I know people there. I worked all around that place, so I know a lot of people. And when I was in my 20s, I used to be not as disciplined as I am now. I used to do bad habits. I used to have bad habits. I used to spend time with the wrong people.
Mhm.
Uh, I only want to call it the wrong people. It's just like their lifestyle is not for my lifestyle. My
Yeah.
life, my lifestyle is supposed to be the gym from gym home, and on the weekends I could probably do go out or something. But not Monday to Friday. You know what I mean? Monday to Friday, you can be out there just, not giving a
Wild.
fuck. But yeah, you can be walking out, man. And, you know, the biggest change, and I'm always going to give credit this to, is when I became a coach.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because, the first, I'll
You
say,
got someone else's career in your hands.
yes. And when I became a coach, it really leading by, I'm a very prideful person. When I say things, I mean them. I'm a man of my word. So when I became a coach, I had to live up to my words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And lead by example was one of the biggest things. And when I had my first fighter, and he actually is one of my corners, which he's not gonna be really my corner. My two coaches, he's just there because he's like for peace of mind.
Yeah.
I, I'm a superstitious person, so I need to have everybody that I've been in the win streak with. I want to keep it. You know what I mean? And and I show him the ways too. He's starting to see. He watched
Yeah,
me
it's
come
probably
back.
a really good experience for him as well. You know what I mean? Just being there, seeing how you compose yourself and how you handle yourself as a professional.
No, he's actually in the other room right now. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
He's the one that comes down with me to Vegas and cut the weight with me and helps me out with everything. Well, I'm about to go cut a little bit weight after this interview. I gotta go outside and run just to cut. I'm only like 4 pounds away, so I'm Gucci. Um, And when he fought the first time, I remember I was already in a good place because I had a lot of things going on personally, and I finally fixed them. And economically, I was really broke. I was like, fighters are broke before you make it to the big leagues.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
was a little broke, you know what I mean? I was broke, I'll be honest. And when everything started landing, I had a good job, a job that gave me the schedule to even train full time with the pros at the gym, like always. Then I was living good. I've always trained. One thing you understand, I always train. I'm always at the gym. I just didn't fight. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I was at the gym, but I was just not getting into competition. So when he fought, like, I don't know, just when I saw my first fighter fight, and then not only him, but people started asking me like, "Wait, coach, when you fighting again?" And it's like, "Whoa, I gotta fight again, man. I'm feeling it." You know what I mean? Like, and then like from there on, man, look where I'm at, man. And not only I got him, now I got 5 people. Like, I teach jujitsu every Tuesday, so I have a bunch of students. I go to grappling gyms, but when it comes up to this sport, to be a MMA fighter, I only got 5 that I'm taking under my wing. And he was the first one, and but right now I got a group of 5, and I'm helping all 5 of them to to understand this journey and trying to like not let them get distracted. And I
Yeah,
get them talk a lot about my own life, and I tell them, guys, trust me, I am not the guy you guys are meeting. You guys think,
for sure.
because they met me like 2 3 years ago, and this is the time I made the change. So they're meeting the good one, the Danny that's very responsible, the Danny that's doing everything right. They
Not
didn't
the
know the one
violent.
before. Yeah, the wild one. So sometimes when I say stuff, I tell them like they probably think like he's just talking. He doesn't know what we go through. No, I know what you guys are going through. Trust me, man. I grew up in the streets, man. Trust me. I know what time it is. So, but the good thing is that I have very good, my students are very disciplined, responsible. So I don't have to be so on top of them, but I just got to keep them up there. Sometimes a little off like the social media crap. And sometimes you could get distracted with social media. You could get distracted with like certain things, not dieting. I have to teach them. Some of them didn't know how to diet. um, if we were not to be in the bubble, then we were here right now with me. You know what I mean? Showing them the ways too. It's just that when you're in the bubble, you couldn't bring 3 corners, and I couldn't bring one with me to be in the hotel with me. But when you didn't have the bubble, you could have everybody. So, but right now I'm doing my job. Like I said, that to me was where everything started. And to be honest, look, man, I started winning by finishes. TJ got away. TJ got away, but I've been winning by finishes.
Well, TJ Brown, your very first fight. Let's talk about that real quick. Obviously, you took the fight on what, like a couple days' notice, I believe, right? It was like 4 or 5 days' notice.
But
Go in
two,
there, 2 day, 2 weeks.
yeah.
Okay, so it's still very short notice. Go in there, beat a very good TJ Brown. You out wrestled him. Super impressive thing that I noticed was I believe you stuffed every single one of his takedowns. And I believe he won like an Arkansas state championship for wrestling. So the dude's got pretty good wrestling credentials.
And he's actually Bryce Mitchell's main training partner, which Bryce
Yes.
Mitchell is a guy that right now people are looking at him as like the Khabib of the 145 division. You know what I mean? Um, like I said, I was a wrestler. You know what I mean? People don't understand. And I'll be honest. Look, I lost to two wrestlers. One, it was Jordan Parson, rest in peace, because he was a Bellator star, but he passed away. You know what I mean? He had an accident. I never been on my back like the way he put me on my back like at least 7 times in those 5 rounds, probably more. He slammed me, and I never been out wrestled before. So
Yeah.
when I got out wrestled, that traumatized me, and I was like, yeah, I was like, wow, I
Never
can't
again.
never again. So then when I fought Jason Suarez, everybody probably knows who Jason Suarez is. He's fighting in PFL pretty soon. He's
Yeah, I've
fighting,
had him on a couple times.
yeah, he's fighting Lance Palmer, I think. He's a great wrestler. We were friends before, and then we end up having problems. So I called him out, and we end up fighting. And he couldn't take me down at all until we hit those fourth and fifth round. Got a little tired. He started taking me down. Took me down probably like twice only, and that traumatized me even more. You know, and I think the trauma just made me a bro. I became a person that I was like, I will not
Never
accept
gonna
it.
happen again.
Not accept takedowns anymore. Ari League was a different fight. He beat me with more like with the strikes, and it was just a different fight. It was not because
Yeah.
of the rest. You know what I mean? But I got trauma. Like I said, those two guys. Be honest, they're the reason why I got the wrestling defense I got. I was traumatized, and when I train with like right now for this camp. I train with a lot of wrestlers, but the main wrestler I train with, which is actually one of my students, and he was a very very good wrestler, and is Richard Mayor. But right now he's actually one of Kobe Covington's main training partners.
Okay.
And
What size
he's
is he?
170. He fights at
Oh,
170, but
a much bigger training partner for you then.
yes, but if he can't take me down, you bet you I'll bet you this guy cannot take me down. Look how I got TJ off of me a lot of times. There was one that TJ got on me and I just threw him off me, like get off me. Bro,
That's
if I have
super
a hundred
impressive.
and Richard is 185 pounds, great wrestler. And sometimes I don't let him take me down because I train with him, you know what I mean? Now, as I get closer to a fight, I get a little bit more away from him because I'm a little lighter and you can get hurt, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about if we had 6 weeks, the first four, I'm with him, and he's doing wall with me. He's doing. I tell him a lot when I was sparring, like, yo, go for shots, take me down, and he goes for it. And like I said, if I could stuff his takedowns, there's no way Gordon gonna take me down.
Yeah, I just checked it out again. It was 6 takedowns that you stuffed. I feel like that's a stat that's completely overlooked a lot. And the fact that you stuffed 6 from a former state national champion, I mean,
You know
that's
what? I
pretty
didn't
good.
think he was national champion. Then you know what? And be honest, like I guess you never, it's different when you look at someone fight someone else than when you look at yourself fight him.
Hmm.
When he Jordan Griffin, I saw him taking Jordan Griffin down a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, man, TJ looks like, and I'm taking this in 2 week notice. I'm like,
And
damn, man.
Jordan's got really good training partners when it comes to wrestling. He's got like Rufion Stott.
Yeah, exactly. So I see Jordan getting mauled by TJ. And I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a hard fight. It's gonna be tight. This guy's gonna, but that's what you look at. But then you're like, I'm a veteran in this game already. I've been in this for
Yeah.
14. We fighting professionally for 12. I was like, I got great defense, man. There's no way this guy gonna take me down. As long as you believe. And I have great training partners myself. You know what I mean? Great wrestlers too. So, and the thing is that previous to this fight to TJ, I had fought like 3 weeks before for the Global Legion Featherweight title against Dylan Kala, and Dylan Kala is a wrestler too. So I stuffed his takedowns too. He couldn't take me down either. So I've been building this confidence that people can't take me down. I just feel that way, and it's helped me a lot. Like I said, I'm a wrestler too. You know what I mean? Like I didn't wrestle in high school, I didn't wrestle in college, but I believe I'm like George St. Pierre, man. We picked it
Hmm.
up as just because we're good enough to pick it up, and I picked it
Yeah,
up.
you're a natural in it.
I feel like I'm not. I had a lot of wrestlers tell me, man, I wish you would have wrestled in high school. You're a good wrestler. And I'm like, I didn't. I had bad grades and I was skipping school. So,
Right.
they're
It
not
be
gonna
like
let me.
that sometimes.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how I feel.
Imagine actually how many good wrestlers fell through the cracks because they didn't have good grades.
Yeah, man. But you know what? Who knows that was not my path? Because what if I would have become such a good wrestler and I never would have wanted to do MMA? Or what
Right.
if I become a
True.
good wrestler and I just want to coach wrestling and never done MMA? Or what if I do so much
Or you
wrestling?
never picked up the striking to even make it to where you
I,
are.
I don't pick up the striking and I don't pick up the jiu-jitsu. Because remember,
Yeah,
I started with
jiu-jitsu is
jiu-jitsu.
important.
I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu on the Daniel Verde. You know what I mean? So uh, to me, um, my jiu-jitsu is my forte. People don't know that. You know, and that's another thing that Jordan doesn't know. Jerry Gordon is taken for granted. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. The most competitions I ever done was in grappling and jiu-jitsu. So that's my thing too. For him to think like is to take it down into a ground, I'm just gonna pound him with his little, say he doesn't throw so much power every time that behind his ground and pounds. I'm sorry. It's good. He's active. He's active. He's constantly trying to hit you, but he's just never so 100% punches. You know what I mean? So he gives me any space, I'll take that arm. I'll put him in a triangle, or I'll get back up. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, I don't even see myself being in the ground, period, in this fight. You know what I mean? I just, like I said, to me, TJ was a better wrestler and was a better fighter. It's because TJ doesn't have any wins right now. Don't take TJ for granted, man. I
No,
mean,
yeah, he's a
what
bad man.
TJ, man? I gave TJ everything I had, and he kept coming at me in the third round. I kicked him as hard as I could have. I tried to kill that leg. I punched him. I dropped him. I tried to bring down his confidence. It didn't go away. That guy was tough, man. So for people to think like, oh, just Gordon, because he's 4-3 in the UFC and he's fought veterans, and he said, man, don't. I felt TJ was a better athlete, and I think TJ is still a better fighter than Gordon was, but I'm not taking Gordon for granted. I'm very focused, and I'm here to beat him on Saturday.
Now, I know you're not overlooking him, but do you have something in mind for what you want next after this fight?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know I don't really know the names of the top 20. I only know like the names of the top five because, like I said, I pay attention more of the main guys. You know what I mean? Like the main 5 to 7,
Creme de la
probably.
creme.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know who is at number 19, who's number 18, but just give him anybody, man. Look, I asked for anybody to. When I was when I fought TJ, I was I became number 60 something or 50 something. I can't remember. And I asked the UFC, yo, just give me somebody that helps me to climb up to the top 30, top 20. They give me Jerry Gordon. Once I beat Jerry Gordon, give me somebody in the top 20, top 15. I don't got time to play these games. You know what I mean? I'm
Exactly.
30 years old. To me, it's now or never.
Not here for a long time. You're here for a good time.
Exactly. So give me these guys. Give me these guys. You know, anybody, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna call top five because it's unrealistic at this moment.
Yeah.
It will in a 2, 3 fights from now. I will be calling those guys out. But right now, just give me anybody in the top 20 after this fight.
For sure, for sure. Well, man, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you have to cut weight and stuff. I want to do
Okay.
this again later after. I want to get more into like how you got started in MMA, your beginning, your roots, and all that stuff. I want to talk more to you. I feel like you and I could talk all night. I don't want to
Yeah,
take too much more of your time though, because I know you are cutting weight still, and I know you have a job to do tomorrow as well as Saturday night. So I'm gonna let
yeah.
you go for now, but we got to refinish this conversation on another date.
Sure, man. All you gotta do is just hit me up, man. You hit me up, and we'll talk, man. Just hit me up, bro. That's all you gotta do. It may take a little long, but people sending me messages like crazy. But I already have you in my primary
Hmm.
part of Instagram, so your message will come before my general or the requested one. So I got you, man. Just anytime. Thank you for the interview, man. And just after the fight, just hit me up and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about my victory.
No, for sure, definitely. I can't wait. Before I let you go, I want to give you a quick opportunity to give a shout out to your sponsors, teammates, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
Of course, shout out first of all to MMA Masters, which is my team, my coaches, Cesar Carneiro, Daniel Valverde, Jonathan Lopez, my conditioning coach, my sponsors, White Lion Therapeutic, Smoothie Spa, Dynamic Wellness. I always forget this one, man. The boxing gloves they gave me. I can't forget it. Stretch Zone, um, Ten Show. There you go. That's what it's called. It's called Ten Show. I want to give a shout out to my students, which are like I always say they're my biggest inspiration. Justin Arteaga, Alexander Martinez, Richard Mayol, Kevin Navas, and Christina. Those five are like really what makes me go. And all my jiu-jitsu students from my class. Shout out to my family, my friends, and the fans. Without the fans, I would not be headlining the preliminary. I say that right now. Without my fans, I would not be headlining the preliminary. All right. The reason I'm headlining is because I'm getting a lot of love from Colombia, from all Latin America, even from the USA. I'm getting a lot of love from the fans, and the fans are the reason why they put me in the headline in the preliminary. I'm getting a lot of it, man. And I feel the energy, man. I feel like the spirit bomb is just building inside of me right now from them. You know what I mean? For all the energy everybody throws at me. So I want to thank all the fans, everybody, and thank you for the interview. Like I said, for taking your time and spending it with me right now. Thank you very much.
Of course. Where can the fans find you on social media, brother?
Instagram, DWarrior875, and Twitter, DWarrior875. Facebook, you cannot find me right now. Somebody hacked on my account and messed it up. I have to create a new one. I don't know what I gotta do. So you can't find me there. And Snapchat, I don't think if people keep using it. I don't know. But it's still DWarrior875. Everything is DWarrior875.
There you guys have it. The Colombian warrior himself, Danny Chavez, is going to be gracing us with his presence this Saturday night when he takes on Jared Gordon. I can't wait to watch the fight, man, and I can't wait to continue this relationship that you and I have and grow it and blossom it. But I appreciate you taking the time out of your night. I know how super busy you are right now, especially, like I said, being days away from your fight. And can't wait to do this again.
Hey, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. Have a good one.
All right, same thing, man. Good night.